We're going to be going over a very, very heavy topic today. Most of you guys will not be able to grasp the concept that I'm going to be talking about. Hopefully my teaching skills can overpower that. Today we're going to be talking about how I believe the fourth dimension is the spiritual world. I'm telling you, it's going to be intense. Put your thinking caps on. To preface, all of this is theory. If there's people out there who know more about this topic than me, comment, duet, correct, add to it. I've been sitting on this for like 6 months now. Let's just go to the whiteboard. All right, this is what I have on the whiteboard. Let's just go to the recap first. First dimension, second dimension, third dimension, and fourth dimension. Let's start with 1D. 1D, it's just a line. You can go back and forth, that's it. The second dimension, you can go up, down, left, right. Third dimension, up, down, left, right, and now you have depth. The fourth dimension looks like a tesseract. The way that you can conceptualize what a 4D cube would look like, it's as if you were just staring at it and you could see the front, the sides, the back, the bottom, the top, all at once. It's weird. So like in the third dimension, we cannot see the sides, we can't see the bottom, we can't see the back. We can only see these 3 sides that are showing. But if we were to look at this in the fourth dimension, we could see all of the cube, including inside of the cube. All by just staring at it. It's nuts. Beings that live in the 3 dimension, that would include us. The fourth dimension for them would be time, space-time. For 2-dimensional beings, the third dimension for them would be time. For beings that live in the first dimension, the second dimension for them would be time. So it's the dimension that precedes after the one that you live in that's always going to be time. Let's get into the really cool stuff, and I'll kind of explain what all that means. Trust me, we'll get into the spirit world stuff soon. All right, so that is a 2D plane. And on that second dimensional plane, you have this little creature named Bebop. Bebop is very aware of anything that goes on in the second dimension. This is the globe. That's what this is. If you guys can't see, it's like a glass earth almost. We're going to assume that this glass earth is sentient. It is aware of itself. So for us, the only reason that we are aware of ourselves is because of time, which is really weird. We only experience ourselves because time exists. It'll make more sense when I keep going over it. This sentient being, the globe, it is going to pass through the second dimension, and only then will it be able to understand parts of itself. So each time it passes through, little slice by slice by slice by slice by slice. Every slice that is added onto it, think of it as like a memory. It is discovering something new about itself. So like in the beginning, it only knows that it's just ice, because the bottom part of the globe is just ice. The more that it passes through that second dimensional plane, the more that it discovers about itself. So like if it's halfway through the second dimensional plane, it only knows half of itself. So it knows just about this much. So in the beginning, it's like, okay, I'm just ice caps at this point. Then it's like, oh, I have like Australia and I have oceans and I'm like part of South America. It obviously doesn't know that, but it's starting to see more and more of itself. But keep in mind, it's only aware of itself because of how many 2D slices of itself it's seeing. So from the perspective of the Earth, from the perspective of it going through the second dimension, it just views itself as a second dimensional being. Like when we look at this globe, we can obviously tell that it's a 3-dimensional being, but it being aware of itself as it's going through the second dimension, it's only viewing itself as multiple 2D slices. It's not aware because it's not capable of seeing past the second dimension. I hope to God I'm explaining this well. So eventually, when it gets to the end, it completes all of the slices. It now understands itself. It now understands its whole being. It knows that it has ice caps. It knows that it has a whole ocean. It knows that it has these massive continents. It knows that the middle is just magma. But the memory of that sphere, it is a collage of all of the 2D splices that it has experienced. And only then, when it fully passes through the second dimension, it has a full understanding of what it is. It starts to comprehend that it is a 3-dimensional being. So if this little creature were to view this object going through the second dimensional plane, this is probably what Bebop would see. Just a line getting bigger, 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 and big, and then smaller, 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 small. Small, bigger, 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 and then it goes smaller, 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 smaller. This is where it gets really cool. We assume that the moment that sphere passes all the way through, its awareness is entering into a new dimension. It is entering into the third dimension because it's aware of its full self. It didn't know that it was a three-dimensional being in the beginning because he was only perceiving himself through the second dimension. It's the same way with us. We have spirits. We are a spirit. If I'm assuming that the spiritual world is the fourth dimension, our spirit are fourth dimensional beings, which means we're fourth dimensional beings living in a three-dimensional body, similar to the globe. This globe is a three-dimensional being who only perceives himself in two-dimensional slices. It's the same way with us. We are fourth dimensional beings because we have a spirit. We are a spirit, but we are only experiencing this world through three-dimensional slices. This is the drawing that I came up with for that. This is you. This is your spirit. I don't know what your spirit looks like. It could look like this. It could look like a little ghosty guy or whatever. But he enters through this world and he's only aware of itself through three-dimensional slices. And then once he comes out, that's like you dying. It's the same exact thing with this one. The three-dimensional being, not aware that it's a three-dimensional being, passing through the second dimension and slowly understanding itself because of 2D slices. The fourth dimensional being, not aware that it's a fourth dimensional being, passing through the third dimension because of time, and then it only becomes aware of itself because of all those three-dimensional slices that it's being aware of. It's your memories. It's like that globe had memories of it, like in the beginning when it was just ice caps. And then it starts to realize that it has an ocean, and then continents, and then lava, and all that jazz. Which means that the moment that your spirit starts to enter into the third dimension, its hand starts to go through, it's like the sperm is meeting the egg. That's conception. Your spirit is entering into the third dimension. Eventually, so much so that you look like this. In this little stage right here, that is pretty much your whole life until you fully exit. So, this is why I put the little creature Bebop right here. What Bebop is seeing, he is seeing this sphere develop over time. That's from the perspective of the two-dimensional being. If we put a little creature in here, a little Bebop in here, what Bebop would see is your whole lifespan out. He sees you as an infant, and then he sees you as a toddler, and then he sees you as a kid, and then a teenager, and then middle-aged, and then elderly, and then you die and fully pass through the third dimension. Baby, toddler, infant, teenager, middle-aged, elderly, death. And guess what? This sphere, it did not fully understand that it was a three-dimensional being until it fully passed through the second dimension, until it got to this point. This being, or you and me, did not realize that it was a fourth dimensional being until it passed all the way through the third dimension. Anything that is applied to the lower dimensions can easily be applied to the higher up dimensions, but it's just gonna look different. It's nuts. It's nuts. I've been sitting on this for like 6 months, dude. Here is my favorite part about it. This is how God interacts with us. Prepare for your minds to explode. All right, I'm gonna draw another 2D plane right here real fast. All right, here's the two-dimensional plane, and here is Bebop. Bebop can see everything around him. He sees this door that's right here. He can go as he pleases, but he cannot see anything. He cannot see my hand because he can't understand this direction. He can't understand depth. Remember what Bebop saw down here. All he saw was these little slits when the sphere was going through the second dimensional plane. From a bird's eye view, if you were to view this happening, it would look like this on the second dimension. So, in order for me to interact with Bebop, I have to physically be in the second dimensional plane. So he would only be able to see me if I were to touch right there. So he can't see me right now. And then what he sees when I touch this, he would just see, oh, dude, I thought that was going to work. He would just see a little fingerprint. He would just see an outline of my finger. And technically, I could just fully put my hand through the second dimension, and he would see all of my fingers. But it'd be weird for him because he would just see like 4 separate circles, 4 of my fingers going through. This is how God interacts with us. This is how other spirits, like angels and demons, interact with us. If we are assuming that the spiritual world is the fourth dimension, that means all spirits are in the fourth dimension. They are fourth dimensional beings. Like, if I were to just touch this and pull it away, Bebop would believe that he just saw a ghost. It just appeared and disappeared, appeared and disappeared. It's the same thing with us in the third dimension and God. If this is the earth, he could just touch it and we would see it and then it would go away. Touch it, see it, go away. It's the same way that God works with us. God just being here always. He can see everything all at once. I might have to do a part 2 on this because I get into like the characteristics of a spirit, what it would probably look like. That is more of a theory. I don't know yet if it's 100% true. Anyways, I hope this was good. Repent and believe the gospel of Jesus Christ.